Today on Beyond the Words, we're going to be talking about
the cycle of abuse.
So let's get to it. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Words. I'm Lon.
I'm Lisa.
And this is Rufus. This is a show where we talk about faith, family, and relationships, talk a little bit about our own personal journeys, and give you some practical advice about how to deal with relationships and strengthening them and all of those things that we want out of life and out of relationship. And yeah.
Okay.
Is that what we want?
Sure.
I think that's what we want.
That was
I think that's what we want. Yeah. Anyway, We're so glad that you could join us tonight. We surely appreciate you tuning in and watching our incredibly, how would you describe our show?
I'd describe your hair as needing a haircut.
Yes, I do need a haircut, yes. But before we get into our show, I want to remind you that if you have not subscribed, check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to that. You can do that by just going to our YouTube channel. I'll put the link to the channel in the description a little bit later, and click subscribe. Or you can go to our web page. You can go. Well, that's the wrong button.
Oh wow! I don't know what button that was.
Uh-oh, I don't know what happened there.
Everything is broken. The world is coming to an end.
Uh-oh.
Do they get to see everything now?
I think so.
Wow.
This is all of our screen. What the? Okay. Anyway, I don't know what happened there, but that is crazy. Anyway, you can check us out at www.gobeyondthewords.com. That's our website. So go check us out there. You can also subscribe there. We'd love to connect with you. You can do that by sending us an email at lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com, lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. And I would put it up there, but for some reason the button isn't working right. Marvelous technology we have.
Because your hair is so long, it's getting in the way.
We see Lucas is joining us this evening. Hey, Lucas, how you doing?
It was great to see his dad at church today.
It was great. Yes, it was great to see his dad coming into the church. Yeah, and that was an excellent thing.
Yes.
As long and with many other people too. We saw this morning.
So many people.
So many other people. Anyway,
it was like your Yoda sentence. So many people.
Other many people we saw this morning. What else do we have? I am so discombobulated. Anyway.
We were well organized, and then, none of the...
And then all of a sudden...
nothing was working.
I don't know. So. We need to get a lot better at this for sure.
Yes. Hopefully we don't get fired.
Yeah. Gosh, I'd hate for that to happen. Fire myself. We'd love to connect with you throughout the show. You can do that by putting comments in the comment section. We'll see them here. We do have that working.
Yeah.
We can see the comments as they come in.
Just don't send anything mean.
Yeah.
Don't fire us.
Don't fire us just yet. We're still getting the hang of this. After 5 months, we're still getting the hang of this? Has it been 5 months?
I don't know.
It's been maybe 4 months. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into our show. What do we got?
Well, do you want to start with the icebreaker question?
Oh, well, yeah, let's do that because we didn't post the question earlier today. So I figured maybe let's put the question out there.
Okay, so it didn't go out?
It didn't. Or at least I didn't see. Oh. I didn't see it go out.
Okay.
I didn't post it. I was too busy trying to do this stuff. Anyway, so let's do the icebreaker. The icebreaker today is, the button's still not working. What was the worst style choice you ever made? What was the worst style choice you ever made. And so yeah, that's the question of the day.
Do I get to choose yours?
You can choose mine.
What do you think was yours?
Well, are we going to do it? Are we going to do the question now? Answer the question now? Or let's wait and let's wait a little bit and let people kind of get the idea. In fact, I will post it right here.
Okay.
Whatever the question. What was the question?
What was the worst style choice ever you made?
Style choice
you ever made.
You ever made. Okay, so I put it out there. You should be able to see it now. What was the worst style choice you ever made? Comment, and then later on in the show, we'll revisit the question and answer it, and we'll do it that way.
Okay.
Since it didn't go out.
Okay.
That was my fault. But anyway.
You're the worst.
I know. But I did get something accomplished.
You did? What did you do?
I did. I got a video. I put together a video. Can you believe it?
Let's watch a video.
You want to watch a video?
I hope it's all Rufus.
It's not all Rufus.
Then I don't want to watch it.
But recently, Lisa and I, as you guys know, have gone on vacation with my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And, our mom and dad, my mom and dad. We went to California, and one of the places we went to was Vacaville in Fairfield County. I believe it's county. And in Vacaville, or close to Vacaville, in Fairfield actually, there is the Jelly Belly factory. And I did not know this until we got there. My dad said, Dad said something about it. He's like, let's go. We know Lisa wants to go see the Jelly Belly factory. I mean, who wouldn't want to go see the Jelly Belly factory? So that's what we did. And so this is our little excursion. One of the many excursions in our vacation. So enjoy the video, and we'll be back in just a minute. We're here in Fairfield, California, at the Jelly Belly factory, the visitor center actually. Let's go in and check it out. She's licking the wall.
Yeah. It's delicious. Oh boy. Did she have to go there? Really? Is that our family Christmas ornament this year? That should definitely be it.
I'm in business, I should know. These are great.
Is that you?
Can I squeeze into that?
And that's our little video excursion of our experiencing the Jelly Belly factory.
Yep.
Actually, we were a little, well, you mostly were really sad because the factory was actually closed. The tours ended like at, what was it, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something?
4:30, and we got there at 5.
Yeah, and we got there just after they had finished the factory tour, so we weren't able.
Samples.
Yeah,
which
but we
was
did
the important part.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So.
And so we did get this, which is Bean Boozled, and I don't know how many of you have ever done this, but what it is, there are two. Rufus, you don't get any. There are 2 jelly beans that look exactly alike. One is really good and one not so much.
Oh, Rufus, you really want some of that.
Ooh, I want them both.
Look at his tail going.
I had to take a picture of the back because I can't
sit
actually
down.
see them because I'm blind.
Sit down. You're not getting any.
So these are the flavors that we're going to be trying. One's going to be either coconut or spoiled milk, buttered popcorn or rotten eggs, peach or barf, pear or booger, tutti frutti or stinky socks, sour apple or minion farts, banana or pencil shavings, chocolate pudding or dog food. Rufus would probably like the dog food
you
better.
want dog food.
Blueberry or toothpaste, strawberry smoothie or dead fish. So, you take a white one and I'll take a white one.
All right. So don't get in there, Rufus. Okay, I got a white one.
Okay, and I'll take a white one.
Okay.
Go ahead. Spoiled milk.
What was the other one?
Coconut. Do I have to eat the whole thing? Or are you gonna let me spit it out?
I don't know. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
Okay.
Where are you gonna spit it? We don't have anything
Right
for you
in
to
here.
spit it. All right.
All right, spoiled milk.
I must have gotten. Yeah, it doesn't. But there's not the strong sense of
You're fine
coconut.
with
So
spoiled milk?
maybe it's spoiled milk.
See,
milk.
he
Oh.
eats rotten things, so he would be fine with it.
Hey,
Okay. What's
that's not even
next?
cool.
Okay, we're gonna do
you see that?
strawberry smoothie or dead fish.
Okay, so which one is that?
It's this one.
All right, you pick them, because I'm colorblind.
Okay.
All right. So it's either dead fish.
Oh, I can smell. Oh my god.
Did you give me the nasty one?
No, I can smell it just from here.
Okay. So it's either
Or
what?
it's that. Smell that.
Oh yeah. I didn't eat that.
Look, he likes it.
Okay, ready? All right.
Tutti frutti.
That's what I got. I got the tutti frutti too.
Good job.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna do one more.
One more.
Okay.
And you're not having any.
We're gonna do minion fart or sour apple. It's these two.
Minion. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hold on. Let me show you what it looks like. You see that? That's not getting in focus. Anyway, that's what it looks like. All right, ready?
Ready? Go ahead.
Go. I got sour apple. Are you sure that's sour apple?
That's
It doesn't taste like minion fart. I don't know what minion fart actually tastes like. I've never tasted.
whatever this is, it's bad.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So
Mine wasn't too bad.
that's how you play Bean Boozled.
Right.
Okay.
Because it looks like very good jelly beans, right? But really, half
So
of them
you
are.
got all good ones, and I got 2 bad ones.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put these over here
And now I'm gonna put half a stick of gum in my mouth.
so you don't taste like
Dead, rotten milk.
rotten milk. Anyway, let us know if you guys have played
So
Bean Boozled.
Ken said she has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nasty if you get the wrong one.
Yeah, it's really bad if you get the wrong one. I have, though, like, at one point, it was Harry Potter, I think. When the Harry Potter movies were coming out.
Yeah.
When Jelly Belly put out the little box that was
The
had
Bernie's spots. Yeah.
So it had all those weird booger flavors and whatever. I don't know. It was nasty. Some of those were really, really nasty. But fun game, and you know, it's fun to play with
Yes.
friends
Yes.
and stuff.
Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into our subject. And I'll try to stop making faces.
Sounds great. Let's jump into our subject. And the subject today is, when is enough enough?
Yes.
Essentially, today's show is about the cycle of abuse. Now, I think it's important for everybody to understand that we're not professionals.
Right.
We're not professional. We don't have any degrees, special degrees or anything. We jumped online and we got some information that we from credible sources that weren't just, Facebook posts by some, crazy person, but they were actually legitimate articles that we pulled information from. Have you been subject to
Yes.
some abuse?
Yes.
I have as well. Although I know they would deny it, and I'm sure that
Right.
and
that's part of the cycle of abuse.
that is part of the cycle of abuse. What's crazy about the cycle of abuse is that the victim sometimes, I mean, I don't know if it was like this for you, but if you think about it, it can sometimes drive you almost crazy, because you could think to yourself, am I really doing these things? Am
Right.
I,
Right.
and then, and then you have to rely on externals to tell you whether or not
Right.
you're actually doing those things or not, and it can really, really almost
with
drive
your
you.
mind.
It
Yep.
can mess with your mind if you're not careful. So,
Which is the first and last point we'll make is, if you are in this cycle of any kind of physical or emotional abuse, the best thing to do is to get outside help
right.
to break the cycle. If it's, talking to a counselor, talking to a pastor, talking to someone, get outside help.
Right. Get some help. I think probably a good idea to just jump into this thing is to start by giving some definition of abuse. You looked up abuse on your phone, did you?
I did.
I have probably a similar. I wrote down a definition, but I left it on my phone, and we're using our phone to film on. So
Is that what you're looking for?
I can't read that,
Oh.
or maybe I can if I put these on. But go ahead. I'm going to change glasses.
Any act or treatment which diminishes your sense of identity, dignity, and self-worth.
Yes. So at its very basic sense, abuse is what happens when someone uses their power of manipulating, whether it be physical or sexual or emotional, psychological, even spiritual
Right.
things, to gain control over another another person.
Right.
And so that's essentially your phone went.
And did you say financial?
Financial, financial is another one as well. And I want to add too that it's not it's not just one instance, okay? Because just about every one of those bullet points, you can find yourself at some point in your life. You can find yourself, kind of seemingly doing these things somewhat. Not all of them, but anyway, it becomes abuse when it becomes a pattern.
Cycle of abuse.
It goes in a cycle, and if it's something that continuously happens, then obviously, that would be classified as abuse.
And what was the first word in your definition?
Manipulating. It's a place where one person uses their power to manipulate, whether it be, again, sexual or... Actually, I have the different types right here. I did write those down. There can be physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal or emotional abuse, mental or psychological, financial, even cultural from time to time, and then spiritual. Oddly enough, when I went through the different websites and things and kind of looked up some of this information throughout the week, very few of them mentioned spiritual, but I wanted to throw that in there because I have actually witnessed in some cases, people who were super spiritual,
right?
But and they actually used the Bible to lord over,
right?
Other people. So they actually used Scripture and their spiritual knowledge,
right,
to enforce their own will. So that is often overlooked, but it's important nonetheless. So we've defined abuse. We've talked about the different kinds of abuse. What are some other things that you looked up?
Codependent relationships.
Oh, you know what we could do? I actually have an image. So let me do this. I'm going to show you a graphic here. This is called the cycle of abuse. Okay, you heard Lisa and I mentioning this a little bit earlier. The cycle of abuse. So, if you were to describe the cycle of abuse, some of the giveaways of whether or not you're in that cycle is, let's say you're constantly walking on eggshells. Mm-hmm. That's one of the signs that you might be. It doesn't mean you're absolutely in it, but it's a good indicator that you might be in an abusive relationship.
Right.
Step one is a tension phase where tension increases. There's a breakdown in communication. The victim usually becomes fearful and feels a need to placate the abuser. The tensions build and build and build to a point that there is, in the second step, there is an actual incident, and this could be, this could be verbal or physical. It could be even sexual in nature. It's an incident where the abuser acts out and does something, causes some trauma.
And this can be a real or imagined incident. It can be something in their head.
Yeah. So, which once the incident actually happens, leads to step 3, which is the reconciliation stage, where the abuser becomes remorseful. They apologize. They give all of the excuses why they acted the way they did. Often they blame the victim
Right.
For their outburst or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they will deny that the abuse actually occurred.
Exactly.
They say that it wasn't as bad as the
Yes.
victim claims.
Right.
You know, they make things like this. Now, that's stage 3 is where I think you could really, you know, when you're in that relationship, especially if you're a victim, you go through those
Right.
that checklist. Like, okay, well, did I really do those things?
Right.
Did I, you know, or you know, and it's in stage 3, I think, that you can really. It can really mess with your mind,
Right.
Because you go, well, I don't think I did anything, but maybe I did.
Well, especially when that person's good.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
Right.
you know, I said that, but you always blow everything out of proportion, and you're just being dramatic, and you're just, you know, and you're like, well, maybe I am, maybe I did, maybe I, you know, you always say that. Well, I always say that because you always.
Because you always do that. I don't know. Right.
So, yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's in that in step 3. Step 3 also is where the victim often will go through this phase of forgiveness and I forgive you.
And this is also where it'll never happen again.
Right. The abuser will promise it's never going to happen again. I'm going to change. I'm going to do all of these things, and it's going to be great from here on out.
Which then leads
Which
to
then,
4.
yes, which then leads to the 4th stage in the cycle, which is the calm, where the incident is forgotten and no abuse is taking place, and there's the quote unquote honeymoon phase.
Right.
It's also important to realize is that this cycle for different people lasts different amounts of time. So where one person, you know, it could be hours,
Right.
you know, or
5 minutes,
or 5
or
minutes,
a year,
or it could
Right.
be a year. You know,
Right.
you know, so, but that's generally the stages of abuse that you go
Right.
around in.
right? The cycle.
The cycle of abuse, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're referring to when we're talking about the cycle of abuse.
And this is all abuse. This is, you know, emotional everything, but you'll see the same cycle. And you have to recognize it. You know, even if it's your spouse, if it's your child, if it's your parent, you have to recognize it. You have to recognize when someone is treating you like this. And you have to realize that it's not healthy. I know a lot of people who try to enable people, and they say, well, it's not their fault.
Yeah, they'll make excuses for them.
Yeah, and if it's someone that you love, I understand that it's hard, and I understand that you want to help them, but letting them hurt you is not how you help them.
Yeah, so, and every situation is different.
Right.
So it's important that you learn where to draw the line.
Right.
And when you draw the line, just as sure as you draw the line,
Right.
they are going to cross it.
Yes. Yes.
Make no mistake, they are going to cross it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. So, so when they do cross that line, you just have to be firm on the boundary.
Right.
You know, here's the boundary. It's just like an alcoholic. You know, if you give them, okay, well, I'll give you a chance.
Right.
I'll give you another chance and another chance. And after a while, you just go, this is the last.
Right.
This is the last straw.
Right.
You go here, things are going to change.
Right.
And And in a lot of cases where there's physical, especially if it's physical abuse, the victim is often really, really scared to do anything, but for fear, and rightfully so. Those are the most important times where you have to seek outside help. You have to go and you know, you go to the police. There's lots of things you can do. So do something. Talk to someone.
Right.
So I also want to throw out there that it's not always the guy who does the abusing.
Right.
And that was the other interesting thing when I was doing my research throughout the week, is that just, I'd say, a good 75% of the sites out there, their focus was, you know, women being the victim, men being the abuser.
Right.
But make no mistake about it, it can go the other way. It doesn't always happen in the way of physical abuse when a woman is the abuser.
Right.
Quite often it can be a mental or emotional abuse.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just throwing that out there because I've been through it.
Right.
Hey, Laura's online. Hi, Laura. It's good to see you. I'm going to throw Laura's comment up there because it's pretty good. Laura Prater says, this is so important. I've been through it and wish someone had explained the cycle to me then.
Because when you get to that reconciliation, and it's so, because you so want it to be true. You so want that, you know, this is the last time.
Yeah.
And you want it to be the last time.
Yep. You really do. You want it to be the last, because you love the person. It's not like, you know, if you didn't care, it wouldn't be
so much
it would be easy. You just walk away and go, well, you know, fine.
Right.
But often it is someone that you care about and that you love.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if it was a stranger on the street, you know, the cycle would be,
see ya.
Smack me upside the head, I'm going to call the cops. But when it's when it's someone that you love, then it's a lot different. Yeah, when you get to that reconciliation, it's hard. It's hard to not believe them when they say this is the last time. So yeah. So there are some things we wanted to put out there. You need to model a healthy lifestyle. It's not just you that this cycle of abuse is hurting. People around you will see this. You think you're hiding it well, but you're not. Your children are going to see it. The people who love you are going to see it. You're not hiding from anybody. So...
You mean the victim?
Yes, the victim is... Yeah, the victim cannot hide. The abuser is not hiding it from anyone. People will know that you are an abuser. So yeah,
most often too, I've read too that someone who is abusive, usually that abuse will show up. It might not show up in quite the same way or quite the same magnitude as it would be in the home, especially when it's domestic abuse. But usually there's certain indicators that will flare up outside in other places, you know, especially in social places or at work.
Like, being super aggressive toward people they work with and things like that.
Right.
And they'll be like, wow, that was, and the next thing, especially, you know, when you're trying to live a Christian life, and even, you know, if you're not a Christian, it's, you know, you still have to forgive them, and you have to forgive yourself.
Because holding on to those, once you're out of the situation, forgiveness is something that you do that I know, like Lisa said, the Bible tells us that we should forgive, but there's a very practical reason why that is, and one of the reasons is that it's healthy for you. if you continue to drag around that unforgiveness, it shows up also in other relationships.
Right.
So,
Right. So don't forgive and go back. Forgive and let go. Give
good.
yourself time to grieve. Don't go from an abusive relationship right into another relationship. You have to give yourself time to grieve
and to heal.
And then you need to move on. You need to build yourself up. You need to stand on your own 2 feet and then move on. And then we get right back into it. Get help. Get professional help. Get a pastor, a counselor. Get someone who can listen to you, who can, just a sounding board. But you need someone to hear your thoughts so that you can just say them out loud, because when everything's going on in your head, it's just rattling around up there. You need someone who can hear you so that you can hear yourself, because you can drive yourself crazy and then you'll end up like me.
I wouldn't say that, but I know
No, I've had a lot of people who have been there to help me, and you absolutely need someone who can,
I know in my situation, it literally, I felt like I was going insane.
You do.
Because the person makes the claims that they do, and then you question yourself, and then you go and you ask other people around you, hey, do you see me doing these things? Well, no, I don't.
Right.
I don't see you doing those things. What? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And but you go through that. You question, and especially, I don't know, especially a person like me who's very, literal in the way that I think.
Analytical, literal.
Very
right.
Yes.
Right.
And so I think in terms of well, did I do that? Well, I guess maybe you could say that I did that, but I don't think I did it in that type of context or whatever, because again, I mean, even with the cycle of abuse, there's this place where the abuser says, I didn't do those things, or it wasn't as bad as you say it was, and so then you go, well, was it as bad as they said it was, or was it not? And so it's really that is, especially for the victim, it's really important to get that counselor, that outside help, so that they can, and just let your guard down with those people, because they're going to be able to see the real you, and they're going to be able to see, outside of the whirlwind that you might be in.
Right. Right.
They have a little bit more clarity where you might be lost in the whirlwind. Yeah. So, what else, babe? What else did we learn? There was some scripture that we thought about too. Let me see if I can pull it up. You want to talk about these? Okay. So Lisa pulled some scripture, and I'll let you talk to it, and then because I want to find that other.
I can't see that far away. I'm sorry. I'm going.
Oh, here, let me put it on the screen here. Oh, where'd it go?
It's terrible getting old. It really is.
It really is. Yes. Wait, where is it?
It's way over there.
Okay. Man, things are just going wrong left and right over here today. Wives, be willing to serve your husbands. Here, I'll just put it on the screen. How about that?
Okay, there we go.
All right, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'll advance it as you talk to it.
Okay. So, what we were talking about is the way God wanted relationships to be in the world. So, wives, be willing to serve your husbands. And then the next one is Husbands,
It's not going.
love your... Okay, so husbands, love your wives and be gentle to them. And then the next one is the children obey your parents, right?
Yeah.
And this
children
pleases,
obey your parents.
Right, and this
Here.
pleases the Lord. And then they're going to see me squinting, thanks.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's just not working.
And
I don't
then-
know what's going on with
Okay,
it.
and then the next one is
Fathers don't upset your children. For the and this
Okay.
this is
So-
in Ephesians. This is
Right.
this is Ephesians 3 verse 21.
So,
That's a good one. Fathers, don't upset your children, for you are too hard to please. If you are too hard to please, they might want to stop trying.
good reading. So, in all of these, what they're trying to say is, God's perfect will is for us to be gentle, to be kind with each other, and don't antagonize each other. So be gentle, be forgiving, be kind, and if someone is not living this out with you, don't live in this cycle of abuse. That's not God's will for us. Even if it's your parent, if it's your child, this isn't God's will for you.
Yeah, it comes down to boundaries,
Right.
Especially when it comes to other family members or even I say adult children,
Right.
or younger children too. But most of the time it takes a form of adult children.
Right.
When they treat you badly,
Right.
and sometimes that means you just have to give yourself some space away from the person.
Right.
I have a relationship with someone in my life that I'm very fond of, and the relationship can only be as good as the weakest person in the relationship. If one person wants the relationship and the other person is just like, I don't really need it.
Right.
Well, then you can't force them to it. You can't live their life for them. You can only do what you want to do.
Right. And then Matthew 7:6 is, do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample under their feet and
Right.
Tear you to pieces.
So the way that I interpret that scripture there, and there's lots of different interpretations, I'm sure, but the way that I see that is, when when somebody is not willing to hear what you have to say, refrain from giving them that information. Refrain from saying it. Sometimes it does need to be said, but that's where discernment kind of comes in, and you look at it and you go, well, I'm going to say it once, and then I'm going to back off, because if you cast your pearl before the pigs, it's liable to just get trampled.
Right.
So, and you can't really change somebody's mind until they're receptive of
Right.
what it is that you're having to say.
Right.
So if they're not receptive, if they're just, going to trample all over you, just keep it to yourself, and you can pray for them, obviously.
Right.
You can obviously you can show them love in other ways.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be close with them in the relationship.
Right.
You can actually love them from afar, not afar, but afar.
Yeah.
And sometimes that does better than just being right there with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a hard lesson.
Yeah. None of this is easy.
None of it is easy.
No.
None of it is easy. So, anything else?
No,
Is that pretty much it?
Yeah. Rufus has been so good tonight.
I know. I can't believe it, Rufus.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Good job, buddy.
Are you sad that you didn't get any jelly bellies?
He's like, man, those things were stinky.
Well, anyway, before we leave tonight, and we hope that the information that we've thrown out there is helpful We maybe butchered the delivery of it. I don't know, but hopefully it helped you guys.
Yeah.
We certainly have been through quite a bit ourselves. But if you got any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section, or if you want some anonymity, if you want to be anonymous.
Anonymity. That's what he's trying
to
to
everybody
say.
else, you can simply private message us, or you can send us an email at lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com, and we'll be happy to pass on whatever information we can.
You can message either of us.
Yes. Yeah, you can
also do that.
hit us up on Facebook. That would be just fine.
Yeah.
So before we take off, though.
Oh, do you want to answer the question?
Yeah. So let's go back. To our
worst style choice.
Our worst style there. Well, it didn't work that time. Okay, what was the worst style choice you ever made? What was the worst style choice you ever made?
Can I answer for you?
Well, you have to answer.
You answer for you, and then I'll answer for you.
Is that fair?
Yes.
I don't think that's fair.
I want to see if you say what I think you should say.
The mullet?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that thing was awful.
I'm gonna find a picture of me in 10th grade because
Oh my gosh.
because I'm telling you, there's one style that beats the mullet. There's
Really?
one style that beats the mullet. Yes.
Oh man, that mullet was so bad.
I will find a picture somewhere. I've got a picture of me.
Every time I see you with that mullet, I'm like, I cannot believe I married him. If I had seen that picture before I married you, I don't know if it would have happened.
Really, it was a deal breaker.
So close.
There is a picture though of me when I was in 10th grade. My sophomore picture, my annual picture from school. I went through this phase where I just kind of let my hair go, like I didn't like comb it or anything. It was just all out
like
there.
it is now.
Well, not like this. This is somewhat shaped, right? I mean, right now it's too long, and I need to get it chopped off. But yeah, it was worse than the mullet for sure. For sure, it was. Okay, so that is my worst style.
So mine, I went through a phase where my mom was perming my hair.
Mm-hmm. That happened to me as well. But I wasn't the one perming my hair. It was my mom.
But it was still you. It was still your head.
No. I was in what grade was I in? I must have been in, I think it was in 7th grade.
Thank you for the 11s.
I think it was in 7th grade. And my mom said, because my hair's real thin.
Yeah.
And so she said, let me give you a perm and it'll give you some more body, she said. Body, she said. Thickness, she said. No. None of that. It was curly. Oh, I hated it.
Oh my gosh. Where's that picture?
Oh, it's there. It's there. We'll find it.
Guys,
don't ever get a permanent. Don't let your moms give you a permanent or your girlfriends. You just do what you do, right?
we're going to have a picture of Lon Litton with a perm. Just wait.
With a permanent. Is that what we're going to do?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm so excited.
Right. I don't know why I did that. But thanks again, guys, for tuning in to our show. Again, I hope that what we have discussed will help you. And if you, like I said, if you got any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email or private message us if you need to. And by all means, if you need some serious help, if there's really physical or sexual abuse that's really going on in there, please get help. I was trying to find some hotlines to put on there, but there's actually some hotlines
we'll find those.
We'll find those and we'll put
them.
them in the link down below as well, in the comment section. So if there's ever any question and you need help, there are hotlines out there.
Yes.
Definitely call and get help. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And until next week, may tomorrow be a perfect day. Come on, sing it, Rufus. May you find love and laughter along the way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. May God keep you in His tender care till He brings us together again. Good boy. Good night, everybody.